Yeah, you're correct. If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. First. Jake Paul, it's sportsman, YouTuber, showman.
I know the money's there, but does ultimately boxing get damaged?
Well, I think so. But I think boxing damages itself left, right, and centre. But I think the reputability and the credibility of some of these boxing sanctioning bodies is poor anyway. But I think it does get damaged.
Even if it's an exhibition fight, which it might well be.
Well, then what's the jeopardy in that? If it's an exhibition fight, which it shouldn't be, if it's a proper fight, then Jake Paul is going to get demolished. He's going to get demolished.
Usyk issued the coldest warning of them all. Jake Paul isn't just outmatched, he's in danger, and Joshua's power could change his life in a single clean shot. According to Oleksandr Usyk though, that $50 million purse money might just go toward Jake's rehabilitation. Usyk said Joshua would kill him on the canvas, adding that Jake has never been in the same ring as a man who can boast Joshua's power and precision. Usyk elaborated that when a heavyweight of that caliber is able to land clean, it's a whole new world for his opponents, with careers sometimes changing in an instant. He cautioned that the damage might be serious and career-altering, and fans are concerned that Jake doesn't appreciate the gravity of what he's getting himself into.
Yeah, you're correct. If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Listen, a lot of questions, blah blah blah. Only one my answer. Anthony Joshua is Olympic champion. First. Jake Paul, it's sportsman, YouTuber, showman. Rolls Royce, Fiat. Listen, it's true. Yeah, I'm not. Типа я не обзываюсь.
I have nothing better in mind.
Yeah. It's just true.
Tommy Fury backed up Usyk's warning by referencing his own win against Jake Paul. Fury noted that if he, a natural light heavyweight with far less power than Joshua, could defeat Jake, then Joshua would completely destroy him. He says the size differential, the punching power, and the years of elite experience make this fight unfair. Fury said Joshua's jab alone hits with more power than many fighters' power shots, and that Jake has never taken shots anywhere near that caliber.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the f*** Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go past a minute. To be quite honest with you, and as a safety aspect, there's no way that fight can go ahead. At the end of the day, my God, how good does it make me look? He gets beat by Jake Paul. Well, that automatically makes me two-time heavyweight champion of the world, doesn't it? There's no proper way. I've got to laugh about it. How are we even talking about this? He got his nut boxed off by me a little over 2 years ago, and now all of a sudden he's talking about fighting Anthony Joshua. It's like, come on. Like, you can't be serious. He can't beat me. I'm not Anthony Joshua, am I? So it's just ludicrous. It really is.
Brennan Schwab chimed in, stating the pressure is on Anthony Joshua, not just Jake. He elaborated that there will be a huge backlash if Joshua can't finish Jake Paul altogether, and according to Schwab, Joshua represents elite boxing, and anything other than a dominant knockout might paint him as weak. He pointed out that big favorites don't look good once they allow inexperienced opponents to survive a fight. Because of this, Schwab argues that both fighters walk into the bout with heavy expectations weighing on their shoulders.
And it's such a disservice to the sport of boxing and to the actual fans of boxing if Anthony Joshua doesn't go out there and absolutely dominate Jake Paul. If it goes to decision, if it goes past 6 rounds, Houston, we have a problem. Boxing, we have a problem.
Eddie Hearn responded with sharp words, clearing the air that none of this pressure gets to Team Joshua. Hernan says Jake Paul will lose the fight exactly when Joshua decides he wants to end it. He says Joshua isn't focused on hype or pressure, he's focused on damage and dominance. According to Hearn, this matchup isn't competitive in any real sense, and the fans expecting a dramatic upset are ignoring the wide gap in experience, power, and skill. He said bluntly that Jake will be taken apart at whatever pace Joshua chooses.
He's mad as a hatter taking the fight. The fight will end whenever Anthony Joshua wants the fight to end. He's getting a near career high payday. Thank you, Jake Paul and MVP, for the opportunity. How could we turn it down? I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's fight of the year. I'm not going to tell. I don't think it's. The only person it's dangerous for is Jake Paul.
Hearn then went on to double down by claiming that Joshua won't waste time. He predicted the fight will end within the first 4 rounds because Joshua simply doesn't need more time than that. He emphasized that Joshua's speed, timing, and raw strength will be overwhelming from the opening bell. Their strategy is simple according to Hearn: apply early pressure, trap Jake against the ropes, and get the job done with efficiency. His message was clear: this isn't some long dramatic battle, this is a short violent assignment for Joshua.
Respect the balls on the fella, but don't start talking to me about, is there anything in the contract where you have to take it easy? No, in fact, exactly the opposite. We're going to actually go in there and get this done in double quick time, destroy him, get on the plane, and then go home for Christmas.
Robert Garcia also chimed in, siding with Andrew Tate on Jake's bravery. He credited Jake for accepting a fight that 99% of celebrities would never take. Though Garcia reiterated that Jake is going to lose almost for sure, he emphasized that the bravery by Paul deserves respect. He also brought up money situation, reminding fans that Jake is going to make a pretty hefty purse no matter the outcome. Garcia mentioned that even if Jake gets brutally knocked out, he'll still leave the ring with life-changing money, and therefore the risk is well worth it.
I gotta give credit to Jake Paul. He's a crazy man. He's a crazy man, but he's making a lot of money. You know, I remember in the 90s growing up, everybody was saying, would you get knocked out by Mike Tyson for $1 million? And we all said yes. So this guy's probably gonna get knocked out, but he's making probably $50 million.
Joe Rogan also recently chimed in with a serious breakdown, giving major props to Joshua's monstrous punching power and explaining exactly why this matchup could turn into a nightmare for Jake. He emphasized that Joshua hits with heavyweight force, the type of power that ends careers and changes fighters permanently. With the size gap, experience gap, and physical danger involved, Rogan thinks Jake might be walking into the most dangerous moment of his entire boxing life.
Problems. That guy, he just has to touch you once.
Shit's going down.
He's so different than anybody else in the division. Like, he knocks everybody out. Everybody hits hard. They all hit hard. But that dude hits hard.
He also mentioned that according to him, this is one of those cases where it's just clear which way the danger is, and Jake should clearly know what he's walking into. He talked about huge discrepancies in power, skill, and experience. The way he said it sounded like Jake intentionally walked into a storm with no umbrella, and fans instantly understood why he reacted like that.
He's so dangerous, man. It's like you're dealing with a guy who's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's enormous, and he's got vicious knockout power, and he's got immense amount of experience at world-class levels. Just think about what we said earlier. Fought Usyk twice, fought Andy Ruiz twice.
Rogan went on to explain that Joshua cutting weight doesn't make him weaker, it makes him scarier. Dropping weight, he said, means Joshua will become much faster, and that combination of speed with heavyweight punching power is super dangerous. Rogan said people don't realize how terrifying a lighter and sharper Joshua could be. He said that cutting the weight won't slow Joshua down one bit, but rather give him better movement, timing, and an even higher chance of finishing Jake early.
And there's some sort of a rehydration clause. Listen, kids, it ain't gonna matter. You know, there's not a chance that Anthony Joshua is not going to just lose the weight beforehand. He's not gonna come in drained. What he's gonna do is just do extra cardio, and that's just gonna make him more dangerous. He's going to be terrifying, and he's going to have a lot to prove. He's going to be very angry that Jake Paul wants to fight him. Very upset that this YouTuber who's fought Tommy Fury, who's a legit boxer, and, you know, a couple other guys that were legit boxers. That's it.
Ryan Garcia agreed with the Rogan assessment and took it even further by stating this fight could physically change Jake Paul forever. Ryan warned that Jake might suffer injuries impossible to repair fully because he's stepping into the ring with a natural heavyweight who has fought the best in the world. He further elucidated that biology and physics do not get erased by confidence, and when Joshua catches him clean, it could be detrimental. Ryan's warning garnered huge attention online because he hardly ever speaks this candidly about fighter safety, yet here he made it sound like Jake is risking far more than just a loss on his record.
Yeah, man, my honest opinion, I think that this has been a misstep from Jake. I think he wanted to make his partners at Netflix a little too happy, and he's gonna walk into it. But like, look it, He loses to AJ. Where does he go from here? You know, like, who does he fight? You gonna go back down to 135?
The problem is not that he loses to AJ. The problem is the way he gonna lose to AJ might be life changing.
Right.
You know, so that's the real issue.
It could be life changing in many ways, right? Physically.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Simon Jordan made much the same points and voiced his ire at the governing bodies who had allowed this fight to be sanctioned. He said, "It's just embarrassing to boxing in general that such a mismatched fight was given the green light," adding that Jake is being put in unnecessary danger. Simon predicted demolition, wondering how regulators could clear their consciences on this matchup. His criticism wasn't about Jake, it was about the system that greenlit this matchup and ignored the obvious risks involved in it.
I know the money's there, but does ultimately boxing get damaged?
Well, I think so. But I think boxing damages itself left, right, and centre. But I think the reputability and the credibility of some of these boxing sanctioning bodies is poor anyway. But I think it does get damaged.
Even if it's an exhibition fight, which it might well be.
Well, then what's the jeopardy in that? If it's an exhibition fight, which it shouldn't be, if it's a proper fight, then Jake Paul is going to get demolished. He's going to get demolished.
And this is not even a case that Jake can pull out of this fight, as Chael Sonnen denied all rumors of Jake's pullout, saying that Jake cannot and will not back away because he was the one who organized it. He explained that Jake built this event, promoted it, funded and pushed it into the spotlight. He cannot back out now, as that would crush everything he was working for. Chael said Jake is aware of the risks but wants the reward, and once he signed the contract, he committed fully. Chael made it clear Jake is no escape route anymore.
A lot of you believe that Jake Paul is going to pull out of that fight. Might even do it the day of, correct? Correct? Okay. Who would he pull out to? He is the promoter. Who would he call? Does he send an email to himself? Does he send a text message to himself? Does he schedule a meeting, come in and sit down, cross the table and look in the eye himself? Like, it's the part that is the most fascinating about the whole thing, is that Jake would be the one to be the skunk at the garden party. It's his money that has brought us to this point.
John Fury was also quick to step in, making sure the question of a Jake Paul win was fully ruled out. He termed this as a no challenge to Joshua, but a light workout, saying that once Joshua catches him clean, Jake will go down. Fury says Jake has gathered confidence against smaller men, retired fighters, and guys who don't punch like true heavyweights. He says Josh's power is on an entirely different plane, and Jake will step into the ring thinking he's ready, but will soon find out the brutal difference between influencer boxing and true world-class heavyweight boxing.
But Anthony, listen to me. Don't take a dive with this Jake Paul, mate. Do not do that, not for $1 billion, my pal. Don't do it. Don't do as the others have done. Do not take dives. If he fights you, knock him dead as a nit, and good luck with it.
Tyson says he's got to bet £1 million on Jake Paul knocking out Joshua.
This is what I'm saying. How's that work?
He can't, can he?
Anthony Joshua could knock Jake Paul out with his. So if it goes any other way, you know.
You give me a headline there, by the way.
If it goes any other way, you know it's fixed, don't you? Enough said. Enough said.
In agreement, David Benavidez also gave his view on the bout and was respectful, but real at the same time. He said he respects Jake for stepping into a real challenge for once instead of avoiding dangerous matchups. But even with that respect, Benavidez still predicted that Joshua will put Jake to sleep without any real resistance. He said Joshua's speed, reach, footwork, and natural punching power are so far beyond anything Jake is prepared for. Benavidez said Jake might believe his confidence in training can save him, but when a heavyweight like Joshua fires a straight right, belief will not matter at all.
I give 100% respect to Jake Paul, but that's a dangerous fight for him. He probably gets knocked out, and I'm not trying to be a hater. I'm not saying nothing bad, but Anthony Joshua is Anthony Joshua. You know, he's multiple-time champion, Olympic gold medalist. You know what I mean? The last time somebody stepped in the ring with him that didn't have that much boxing experience was Ngannou, and you've seen what happened to him. Yeah. But big respects to Jake Paul. It's gonna be a good card. You know what I mean? It's a big fight, and it's a good fight, man. I give 100% respect to Jake Paul for even taking that fight.
Subscribe to get more fast-paced breakdowns, complete fight storylines, and expert opinions on the biggest matchups in combat sports.